Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. There is not a second in time without an expression of what's real, of your real nature. Do you hear? Not a moment without an expression. So the expression of no mind, silence, it's also a form which comes as a span of time, which goes and which is followed by something else. And as this experience gives an immense joy and peace to the body and to the mind, one may confuse that for real contentment, for real peace, for what it is. So just be aware that what you really are is what is aware of all those changes. Let it be peace, let it be agitation. Now, to realize that, it's true that one putting himself somewhere, especially as a human being who is born, it looks like he has to free himself from what looks glued to him. And the basic one is I am born, which is an idea, a concept, a limited dress. So, as in truth there is no journey, when one cannot take it, there is a journey appearing. And that journey, as I said, is to regress, to spot what's the mind, to not to be fooled again by the presentations of the mind, which is very, very clever by its dual nature to create infinitely. So don't be fascinated by new shapes or forms of experience. Just see how come I can be aware of it. What is it? And then you keep quiet. So that the confusion can disappear. If I am not understood, please ask. It's very important to clarify the mind. Yes. You have really to help because the wind wants to speak also. So
When I go back to I, one eye,
yeah.
and stay there quiet.
Yeah.
Until when I say Ganga, then it's more peaceful. It's more. And as I go back to I, it's not a strong word to go in I. When I say Ganga,
Yeah, but then it is conditioned.
yeah, that's a condition.
It's a condition.
Yeah.
Okay, it may help you not to be distracted as usual with the mind. So in that way, you feel you are alone with Ganga. And that will maintain the existence of I am somebody else.
It's so difficult to come in I, to stay in I.
Don't worry about that. Just worry not to confuse yourself with whatever shapes you experience, with whatever shapes appears. So in fact, if you can see what appears, what could it be? There must be something always there which can be aware of states, experiences, changes. It's that you are. It has not a special shape.
I also say that I'm searching.
If it is maintained, I has to search. Even he will search for enlightenment. And surely they are, I think the shape, the form that one goes to, experiences, which is not a shape, objective shape, but undefined shape of silence, you see, creates enlightened beings. But the problem is that there is still a being. So the misery of searching continues in a very subtle way, of course. Yes, and yet you are not at peace, because that's like a worm in the apple, it troubles. Even though you may have moments of peace. So just to see that clearly helps. I can never objectify what's real, what my real nature. I can never objectify it. Otherwise, I make again an object of somebody, an experience of somebody. So what you can know is what you are not. What you can spot is what you are not. And at some point we'll have not the fear to do so. You will just keep quiet in the sense of you will not expect an experience of what you are. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
J'aimerais exprimer autre chose.
Would like to express 2-3 things.
Je pars après le satsang,
I will leave after satsang,
mais je pars sans beaucoup de questions.
but I leave without having questions anymore.
Je ne suis pas triste,
And I'm not sad to leave
parce que où que je me trouve,
because or
Wherever
wherever
I am.
et quoi que je regarde,
and whatever I look at,
c'est toi que je vois.
it's you I see.
It's you, I see.
Yes, I know that.
Ce que je voudrais dire, c'est que
What I'd like to say is,
quand je t'ai rencontré la première fois sur YouTube,
when I first met you on YouTube,
je t'ai reconnu.
I recognized you.
Quand je t'ai vu ici, quand je suis venue,
And
de temps après,
when short after I came here and saw you,
Laura.
tu m'as tout de suite conquise.
you have immediately conquered me.
Et c'est vrai que même la première fois que j'ai entendu tes paroles,
And it's true, even the first time that I heard your words,
j'ai immédiatement su que
I have immediately known
tout était profondément vrai,
that everything would be profoundly true
sans comprendre.
and without compromise.
Là, je suis revenue,
And now I came back.
j'avais pas la connaissance
I didn't have
du maître.
the knowledge of the master.
Je suis pas allée en Inde, je n'ai rien fait.
I have not been to India and I have never done anything in that way.
Et pendant mon séjour ici,
And while my stage here,
j'ai beaucoup reçu.
I have enormously received,
Il a encore clarifié des choses très importantes pour moi.
which has again clarified a lot of things in me.
J'ai vraiment beaucoup de toi.
I would like to come close to you.
Voilà. So much close. Like that. Voilà.
Je voudrais dire que je te reconnais.
Mais tu vois,
Non, mais comme mon maître, tu es mon maître, mais pour moi ça veut dire quelque chose parce que je connaissais pas ça avant.
oui,
Et tu es le soir, et tu es aussi l'objet de mon amour, mais j'ai pas d'attachement. Je te me reconnais.
tu es libre.
Je suis libre, c'est ça.
Myself, I know what it is to meet the master of the absolutely fitting master of the demand one has got in his heart, in the heart.
Parce que je voulais aussi dire, je n'en veux pas d'autres.
You what you say because I wanted to say
Vous pouvez en avoir
there is
qu'un,
no other.
et c'est tout. Et c'est
Possible. Just wanted you.
This is so beautiful to witness, and a question that I've been sitting with is, I feel like my whole life is grace.
Yeah.
And I hear and I see people in this relationship with one teacher,
Yeah.
one master.
Yeah.
And do I need one external guru?
It depends on your demand, my dear. If you are contented in yourself, which I don't know what you really mean, but you must know. If there is no doubt about it, then there is no doubt about it.
And I guess because I have the question, there is doubt.
You may not allow it to invade you, but if you question it, yes, there is a doubt. And in that doubt, I would reply with absolutely rare exceptions. And when I say rare, it may mean not even every 500 years. Maybe one will do it by himself. Otherwise, you absolutely need to meet a master who can indicate you that you are already that, if it is that your search. So why do you introduce that doubt? Are you still searching? You see, it's not because one may feel at times that the life is very graceful, I am blessed, that is realized. It's just a very blessed moments lived. And what is a blessed moment? To feel carried by something higher, some grace, some divine, some, or the self even. It can be the experience of a very blessed one, means a one who is open to the grace, which is always there. It's the language of reality, actually, the reality. It's up to you to see. What do you still search, or what is there?
I have such a burning fire for the truth, to know myself.
Okay, but this is called the search. Burning fire for the truth is a seeker after truth, and he wants to realize, and probably that fire make you ask this question. Because you see you need help. Otherwise you would have already found by yourself. After all, you are it. You are it. Why don't you simply drop the search then? It must be that there is a belief somewhere of someone, which is the one I see, which stops that. After all, we are that, you see. It's only because one has learned only this way to add qualities, attributes, qualification to this I. And that creates the mind, the pleasures, the pain, the search for a permanent happiness or peace or love, which is actually never found in the way of the mind, means something better, something more, something beyond that I don't have it now. But you are yourself now. So to realize that, you have not to listen to the mind. And not listening to the mind may create this experience of, oh, I am in no mind. Still it's an experience. Because if you take this for it, you will search still in a very subtle way, probably. But still the search is there because I am somebody is there. If I is unglued, completely unglued, as it is in reality, there is no problem.
How to know who is the master?
Oh, you will not have to search for it. Once you meet, you know, this is it, I can trust here, it fits my demand. It is beyond any reasonable appearance. The self then, you see that burning fire in you recognizes the self alive in the guide. Don't worry about that. If you are clear that you need help as you always need it for anything in this life after all, so why not now? It will be clear to you where to stop and listen and trust and realize. And once you find, it's no need to go somewhere else. You just, even if there are another one, same, but why to hope? You just stay. To finish off your incarnation. The belief that you are incarnated. Yeah.
Today I'm leaving, but really not leaving. And I just feel to say thank you so much. I love you so much. I love you all.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good. Yeah.
Is there any point in learning or mapping my mind, like the tricks or how it functions, or?
Anyway, it tricks you all the time.
Yes.
So you just spot at the moment you want to spot. Whatever is appearing is the trick of your mind. Whatever is appearing. No escape. There is just one escape when you can take it. I am that awareness which can see all this. Bas. It is not any shape which will do. One is strict all the time. And suddenly one can see. I was never tricked, I am always myself. Only the mind, only the expression, the manifestation, the creation is a flow of changes. There is the river, and there is the bed of the river in the shapes. There is the becomings, and there is the being. still a shape. They don't exist without one another. So it's still a shape. I am that which can never be caught by any experience or expression.
How can you function after you realized? How can you function?
Oh, there is such an intelligence in this creation, in the mind and the body. Don't worry, you will just react to circumstances in a very nice way. And nice doesn't mean anything. You just freely act according to this body mind. Don't worry about that, because you see that worry is a delay. It's the mind which wants to be sure it doesn't make something completely mad. Or if this path is at all not for the mad one, so what could it be? But you see, we have great examples in the history. All the masters who pointed out the same, they have quite a life. And I never saw one, it's never written, at least in the history, that one had to be put in a mental hospital because he was making very strange things. Those who are put in the mental hospitals is those who probably have glimpses sometimes, because they behave in a strange way. But not the wise men. Not the wise. So don't worry. Don't worry about that. This appearance has an amazing intelligence. Imagine, everything is functioning. It sometimes doesn't, that's true. But it is not due to liberation if it doesn't function. So don't listen to your fear. You see, that's why also it's important to have a guru, because he's a support in this journey. He's a pillar that is always there, you can trust. And when you are at loss, you know that you can take refuge in the guru. You see, that's the function of the guru. He brings you to your own self, which has always been there. And at the same time, in difficult moments, in this manifestation, it can be a refuge. Otherwise, where to go? You go to people, can you trust? You never know. And for the proper guru, you have to be clear about what it may come with time also, but at some point, what is my priority? What do I want to realize first before I die? I have many things, but I have to see what is the priority. You see? And you will meet the guide according to what comes first to you. And if it is liberation, it will be, of course, the master of liberation. That is his bondage, to appear where the demand is like that. Yeah,
You just told about...
a little louder would be nice.
You just told about liberated being. What is the differences between liberated being and enlightened being?
Well, in the talk I had, there was a meaning. Otherwise, you see, when you are visited by this experience of complete no mind, which is available always after all when you are not engaged with the mind. But you have known the direction, where to go to find that refuge. You see? You feel this is the truth. This is the truth. And it fulfills your search in a way, because you have been so much troubled by this mind in different shapes. So you don't take this as a shape of the mind. So I call them the feeling of to be an enlightened being. But there is a feeling too much and there is a being too much. Maybe not for that one, and that's all fine. But with my uncompromising reading, it's too much. There is something too much there. Because realization is exactly when nobody claims or even is there to describe what it is and to give a spatial shape of what it is and to know in and out. There is no more difference between this manifestation and the self itself. It's one, let's say. You see? That's all. Welcome to Satsang. So Satsang is there for those who want to remind you of your real nature, of what is there always, regardless of this body which goes on changing, this mind which goes on changing with the ideas and convictions and doubts. So Satsang reminds you, you are not this body-mind which goes on changing. The I you pronounce, in fact, in reality, is always there with you and doesn't know changes. Only body, mind knows changes. So when I say, I am growing, for example, in fact the right sentence would be, my body is growing and my mind gets matured. What I am in reality is what is aware that I am growing in the body-mind. Anyway, open your heart to this and just give a moment to this. Close your eyes. And for this, in order to sink in you, it is not adding new concepts, new ideas, or new understandings. It is rather by freeing oneself, giving up all convictions one has got about the one he thinks he is the path of simplifying, sobering, till it's no more necessary because one sees, oh, I was always myself. Which doesn't mean anything to the mind. And which is the total fulfillment of the heart. If you like. Yeah, like this, you remove all your dresses, ideas. Very good. Don't want to play? What is attracting you here?
Was zieht dich hier an? Was magst du hier dran?
Liebe und fühlt sich einfach gut an, beim Satsang zu sein. Es fühlt sich einfach gut an, beim Satsang zu sein und die Liebe. Ja.
And that it just feels good to be in satsang.
Wonderful. Yeah, me too. So I come. Yeah, can you tell loud because it's okay. Anything you want to ask?